Take as much time as you need. Just never use it. All of us are human beings. Some are adults, some are working. Some are chilling, some are procrastinating, and some are just staring and dragging themselves through. But all in the end are humans. Humans who have lived and experienced or will experience hardships of life. And everyone differs in how they handle it. And that's completely fine. Mental health. I know nowadays everyone thinks they know what mental health is and how to be in control of their own mental health. Society believes it has normalized the concept of mental health. But if I'm being completely honest, it hasn't. And it is frustrating to think you have done something when you haven't. Firstly, let's start by discussing what mental health actually is. According to me, mental health is just a state of mind. It is the thoughts running in your mind that affect your presence in the society, that affects your physical health. Mental illness isn't just depression, anxiety, or stress. It is anything that keeps your mind running and something that keeps you away from the present. Like when you're out with your family and friends and you want to enjoy it to your fullest and have a good time, but something catches your mind and you zone out of the moment. It's like when you think you are reading a novel, but you're just scanning through it. But this is just my perception, and others can think differently too. No one should disregard what the other person thinks of mental health because it is personal, it is ever present, and it matters. I conducted a survey of 50 people, age 15 to 20, where I asked them what according to them is mental health. I got numerous answers, with each and every one being unique in its own way. Some said they don't know actually what mental health means. Some said peace of mind, happiness are signs of mental health. But what struck me most was one answer. I don't have the luxury to afford it. To an outsider who doesn't face mental health issues, this statement might seem bizarre or even random. But to me, this means a lot deeper and more impactful. I am an overthinker and I don't necessarily feel like I'm moving on with anything. Rather, I feel stuck in a phase for way longer than required. This statement took me to my past where I believed I couldn't afford my mental health. I believed that I wasn't enough for myself. But after much deliberation and thinking, I know that is not true. I know I am worthy for myself. This has led me to a lot of conclusions. One being that self-love and self-denial are two very opposing terms, but they go together. Self-love is where you love yourself and accept yourself for who you are. And self-denial is where you hate the presence of yourself. Now, why do I say they go together? Because to have self-love, sometimes one has to have a phase of self-denial. Because if you do not know how to see your flaws, then how will you embrace them, right? I was bullied by my own best friends in elementary school. And being at the age of 8 and 9, you tend to believe what is told to you. So when my friends told me I was ugly and I did not live up to the standards one should be, I believed them. And that's that point onwards, the journey to self-denial started. I used to deny everyone who told me that I'm beautiful in my own ways and I am enough for myself. I denied it to such an extent that I thought what was even the point of living in this world. But That's when I picked myself up from the darkness. And I told myself, even if I am ugly, even if I don't live up to the standards, am I enough for myself? Yes, of course I am. And that's how my journey to self love started. To accept the truths, embrace them, and move forward. It is very difficult. But when you do so, it feels great. Mental health illness is what a lot of people deal with in their day to day life. During my survey, a lot of people said different things. Like some said they have dealt with mental health illness their entire life, while others mentioned they feel it would be nice to have a quick solution to anxiety and nervousness. My survey also read that only 8.4% people say their mental health is excellent. And that is a very low number. And I think we can do better. A person can only be called healthy if both his or her mental and physical health are excellent, or at least good. But that is not the case in today's scenario. After a pandemic, remote school, and work, people think that they are focusing on mental health, but in reality, they are not. Now I know a lot of you might be thinking, how do I improve my mental health? Or how can I attain that level where I call my mental health excellent? So let me tell you that your mental health has a lot to do with your interpersonal relationships with people. Now that we are getting back to in-person classes, meetings and social gatherings, people try to maintain a distance from others because they don't know how they would react. But I believe this is the right time to strengthen one's relationships, to depend on them, to not step on them, rather to lean on them whenever needed. I used to trust people very easily and was an open book. But then I freaked out. My trust was broken by a few people, and that's when I started putting some barriers. But now I know that barriers are not the right choice. Rather, communicating and expressing yourself is the right choice. You should do what you like without the worries of what others will think. Because out there, people love you for who you are. Mental health shouldn't be a big deal in your life, but should be a part of your life. I believe it should be normalized but not dramatized. One should know what it is and how to be in control of it, but not be shaken when someone talks about it like it's something out of the world. I believe mental health should be treated as normally as physical health is treated. I asked, what do you think the society should do in regards to mental health? And my teachers answered, early stage detection, regular counseling, awareness programs, acknowledgement are some of the most important things to focus on. No one should interpret anything about anyone because you don't know who they are and they don't know who you are. Share who you are, not what others want you to be. As rightly said by John Green, there is hope even if your brain tells you there isn't. Thank you.